Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
I think this project and really this community has pushed us as a company and definitely me personally on what this work can look like and what we can do.
Says Patrick McGoughlin, Senior Project Manager at Lydig Construction. Lydig Construction is making an effort to make that dream a common reality for communities of color. Through their work with Seattle Public Schools and programs like ANEW, they're working to create opportunities for individuals to have successful and fruitful careers in construction.
The sense of pride of like walking by and being like, oh yeah, I did that. Like I built that, or I had a hand in building that. I think that is an awesome feeling.
Says Rainey Kendall, first period apprentice at Lydig Construction. Meanwhile, former Seattle School Board Director Betty Patu says,
our kids deserve a new building because they come and they study hard as they can. And a lot of times you throw things at them thinking that's not that important. But when they see this building, that tells them you are very important to this community.
If you're looking for a new career and you think construction might be for you, you can visit buildthebeachforusbyus.com to learn more and hear about the program.
Women Empowerment Talk Radio, your roadmap to business success. Tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, providing resources and sharing motivational experiences from the everyday entrepreneur. Tune in Women Empowerment Talk Radio every Sunday, 3 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Celebrate Black History Month at the Call to Conscience Black History Month Museum, formerly Columbia City Theater, 4916 Rainier Avenue South. Call to Conscience Black History Month Museum features exhibits and installations. It's a guided tour.
Installations include the Seattle Black Panther Party, the Black Heritage Society of Washington, the Rainier Cinema Black Movie Posters Collection, the Hartsfield Family Enslaved Quilt Collection, Revere XR, Negro League Baseball's Seattle Steelheads, NAACP Washington, Alaska, and Oregon, Giselle's Famous Chicken, Nasty Mix Records, Sir Mix-a-Lot, South Seattle Emerald, the Museum of History and Industry, Community Keepsakes and Memorabilia, the Total Experience Gospel Choir and Pat Wright, the Black Prisoners Caucus, a display from the Tacoma Buffalo Soldiers Museum.
Tuesdays through Sundays from 11 a.m. 7 p.m. There will be no other location where you can celebrate the achievements and the achievers of the Pacific Northwest and Seattle while recognizing the Black excellence that shines today. For more information, visit RainierAvenueRadio.world or call 206-290-9685.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not stopping a Mercer Island street brawl, I'm listening to RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Around for a long, long you tried to hold us down.
Hello, everyone, and happy Friday, TGIF. I hope you have some wonderful plans for the weekend now that the weather has warmed up slightly, which is good because, yeah, it was cold last week, folks. So I want you to know that we have at Rainier Avenue Radio Station, which is at the old Columbia City Theater on Rainier Avenue, we have a new Black History Month museum coming up February 1st through 29th, and it is called Call to Conscience. I want you to know that I went and took a few friends with me last year to the Black History Museum that we did, and it was all about local Black history, which this is as well, and it was really informative, and they did a great job with the exhibit. So I hope you go by, and it's a great thing to invite friends to because you learn about local Black history. So I'll get a group of friends and we will go again this year, and I hope you do too. You have a whole month basically to plan it. Not 4916 Rainier Avenue South. There's also, you can go to lunch with your friends afterwards because there's some great restaurants right around the area, like the Columbia City Ale House, who has the best tuna melt in town. There's several great restaurants right around there. So make it an outing, invite friends, and learn a little bit about your local Seattle Black history. So, you know, what we do on the You Can Make a Difference show is we talk to people who are doing things to make a positive impact and difference in our world and in our communities. I have a good friend on today who is a career coach extraordinaire. And if you want to boost your career, change the field you're working in, get a higher salary, know how to negotiate for what you want, she's just brilliant at this and does wonderful coaching. So please welcome to the show, S.J. Braun, the founder and CEO of Super Purposes.
Hi.
Hey, S.J., welcome to the show.
How are you?
I'm
It's
good,
so funny.
thank you.
You know, when you call me S, because we're friends.
Yes.
But most people don't know who SJ is. So yeah, I'm Super Julie Braun, but my
Super
friends
Julie,
call me,
yes.
my friends call me SJ.
Super Julie stands for, that is what SJ stands for. Yes. And she flies around with a cape, helping everyone with their careers. Yes.
Very funny.
So you just, your company, Super Purposes, you know, like I said, helps people with their careers, helps them get a job that they want, not just get a job. And, you know, since the pandemic, I think people had a real awakening around that, right? That they don't just want a job. They want a job where they feel like they belong and they're passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah. You know, I think the thing that makes us very unique is that we are purpose driven.
Yes.
Our company is called Super Purposes, so that kind of goes in alignment with that.
Yes.
I think for many people, we just ran some statistics recently, and I said I thought it was 2%. It's probably much, much less than this of people who actually have a meaningful job.
Yeah.
You know, something that they really resonate with.
Mm-hmm.
Most people fell into whatever work they fell into.
Right.
You know, maybe they got a job out of high school and they kind of fell into an industry and that's where they've been, you know, most of their lives.
Yeah.
Other people got into a job because their parents wanted them to.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So we always
Yes.
have like the accountant who their parents are, you know, you're going to become an accountant. And they're like, okay. And they go to school and they become an accountant. And 20 years later, they're like, I hate doing taxes.
Yeah.
And I intensely dislike talking to people. Like all the things that they have to do in their job, they just, you know, they hate numbers. They hate dealing with the IRS. And yet they've been doing the job for 20 years. And so the wake up that we try to bring to people is there's a reason why you're here on the planet.
Yeah. That's right.
And for those of us who understand our mission, we have an extraordinary life that we're leading.
Yes.
For those who don't know their mission, they feel lost and they have their existential crisis often.
Yeah.
And so we work with people and we bring them into that thinking because there's no reason why you shouldn't have the kind of job that you love, that's challenging, that is also sometimes disappointing and bittersweet, but moments of, you know, glory and moments of, you know, you can't wait to get to work in the morning.
That's right. Yeah.
And that kind of job feels totally different.
It sure does.
And yeah. And Mac, I know, you know, I'm preaching to the choir here because you understand, because you do the kind of work that is mission driven.
Yes.
And when you have it, you will never go back. You will never go
back. No,
back.
because it's miserable. Once you've experienced working in a job working in a career that you are passionate about and that you're called to. Yeah. If you do something else, you're just miserable. You're like, it drives you crazy.
It's the torture test.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that, that you help people find an avenue to work in an area that they are passionate about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we take people from, I don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
And in 12 weeks, they can completely transform and get a job in the industry, doing the kind of work that they want to do. Now, for some people, you know, they'll go a little bit longer because they will need to take some courses or some certifications. They'll need to get some experience, maybe do an internship. For some people, but for other people, they have so many transferable skills, they can go right into that job that they want. and they get to choose where they want to work.
Yes.
So imagine all the people, whenever I ask someone, well, where do you want to work? Most people go, oh, I just want to get anywhere that I can. And then they talk more about the job and not the company or the people or the environment or the values that organization should have, because you
Yes.
need to be in alignment.
Right.
If I value the environment, then I should go work with a company that also values the environment.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you, yeah, you know, a lot of people don't think about what kind of company culture do I want to work in too, right? Does the company like foster teamwork? Do they like foster growth in their employees and help you, you know, do they allow you some flexibility to be able to work from home some of the time and work, you know, go into the office some of the time? Like a lot has changed with that, right? There are a lot of companies now that want people to come back to the office, and there's a great deal of resistance to doing that all the time. So,
Yeah, most people are like, no,
right.
I don't want to. We see this huge influx of people. I'm thinking about, you know, we live in Amazon land.
Right.
And I think of, I have a friend in particular who works at Amazon, but during COVID, she moved to Florida.
Yeah.
And when Amazon said, no, we want everyone to come back to the office in the next 6 months. So now everyone's going to have to move back across the country.
Right.
To come back to work in the office, which, you know, may or may not happen, because plenty of people are just going to drop off the map. They're going to go, no, I'm not going to come back to the office. No, I'm not going to move back to Seattle. And so it's we're living in a very interesting time right now when employees, you know, the employee revolution is alive and well.
Yes.
And people are saying what they will and will not put up with.
That's right.
And so it is changing company cultures as we speak.
Yeah, I have a good friend that was navigating that very thing you're talking about. During the pandemic, they all went remote, right, at her work. And then her and her partner moved to Hawaii. They had a condo over there, a vacation condo for a while, but they love it so much, and they're scuba divers and all this, that they moved. And then the company wanted her to come back in the office, and she was like trying to negotiate, you know, and she ended up leaving the company because they really wanted to demand it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. It happens.
And that's the thing, is that people need to understand, right, that they have more power in this now, because you know, the companies don't have all the power, because a lot of places are short workers, right? And they have a hard time finding, and it costs them more money to train new people. Yes.
It is very expensive.
Yeah.
To always have a never ending revolving door of people coming in and out of the business.
Yeah.
To have to onboard and train and, you know, introduce them to the team and get them, you know, on the right track. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, bye. No, you know, and you're like, okay. So then you've got the next person. Mm-hmm. So companies do understand that the more employee centric they are, the happier the environment will be, the longer term employees will stay, which means you're not losing all of your knowledge base and skill
Right.
base. Yeah, but it's an interesting place that we're living right now. You're reminding me of the TikTok. I think the young woman's name is Brandy, where she's getting fired online, and she videoed it and put it on TikTok. And she was really an advocate for herself during this firing.
Okay.
You know, her team was getting laid off. I guess it was like 40 people.
Wow.
You can look it up. The name of the company is Cloudflare. I have a very hard time saying that. Cloudflare.
Flare.
Yes. And I believe the woman's name is Brandy, but she was a real advocate for herself.
Okay.
And it was an interesting layoff because the HR people could not really explain why she was being laid off.
Wow.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah, that is wild. Well, listen, you all just had a big sweepstakes. Tell us about that.
We did. So we had a sweepstakes in the month of December. And we do this once a year where we give away the ultimate career makeover. And the grand prize is worth $10,000.
Yeah.
We basically give the winner everything that they would need to have the career that they want. So for example, they'll get one-on-one career coaching. They get access to our online course, which is everything from I don't know where to start to managing multiple job offers. They get a feature article written about them and their career in Authority magazine.
Nice.
They get a personalized video done by us that's all about them and their career. They get promoted to our following of over 50,000 people, both on social media. We write a blog about them. I mean, they just get so much stuff. It's really quite extraordinary. And so we do have the winner. His name is Steve Klein. We made the announcement, I think yesterday or the day before. We're trying to get a hold of him right now. So, you know, that's what we're doing next. But it was a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun putting it together. And it's exciting for at least the three winners. We have the grand prize, and then we have the second and third place. And they get some coaching and an online course. So, yeah.
And then you'll be following their progress, right? And doing some videos about it and showing what happens with their journey. Yeah.
Last year's winner, we did a little video about her and you know what she learned and how her life has changed. And it's really cool to watch when you see the person go from, oh my gosh, I dread every day,
right,
to, oh my goodness, I had no idea that this was even possible in my life.
Right.
Yeah. It's really,
and where can people, awesome. And where can people go to watch this progress and how it happens?
I think we have it on our website right now. I have to go look, but I believe it's on our website at superpurposes.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So I have a few questions for you. I'm sure there's a lot of people out here in the position listening and that will listen to this that, you know, that would like to be in a better place in their career. Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about debunking the 6 myths about career change.
Okay. So people who are changing their careers, we've all believed in these myths. There's really 6. Well, there's probably like 100 of them, but there's 6 of them that we really have identified. And one of them, which is probably the one that I just want to like shove sharp sticks in my eyes. I don't know why, but I'm just like, I hate this myth, which is I'm going to have to start all over.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've thought that before. Changes a career.
Yeah.
So you've had that thought before. Tell me about that thought.
Well, I had that thought when I transitioned, right? I mean, that was a big thing, big obstacle. Like people, my name has changed. Like,
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
It sure is, because you do feel, and innately, I think we do tell ourselves, oh, I'm gonna have to start all over. Like
Right.
everything that I've done in the past won't even count or matter.
Right. And I had
that
a very established career and background. So that was
But interestingly, it's a myth. It's not true.
right.
Because whatever you've done up to that point is where you're starting.
That's right.
So all of the skills that you've built in the past, you're bringing with you.
Right.
All of the knowledge, all the smarts you have, all of the critical thinking skills, all of the soft skills, all the hard skills, all of that you're bringing with you. All of your maturity and moments where you've taken a tumble and maybe chipped your teeth or scabbed your knee. You're bringing that experience with you. You're bringing all of that to your next job, your next career.
Yeah.
And so I think often I tell the story to people who say, well, I'm going to have to start all over. And I'm like, yeah, that's a bunch of baloney. I used to drive a cab back in the 90s. Maybe it was even in the late 80s, if I think about it. I have to go back and do my math. But it was in San Francisco. I was a cab driver. I was one of 3 women and about 5,000 men, if you can imagine. We didn't even have our own bathroom back in the day.
My goodness. Oh, I bet that was a mess.
It was not pretty. Okay.
Yeah.
And while I was driving the cab, I kept saying to myself, just, why am I doing this? I mean, this is hard work. I'm picking up strangers. It's dangerous. I'm working wacky hours. I was making money. So I know that money was my driving force, but I was trying to figure out what's the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
And the truth is, everything that I learned in that job, I still use today.
Yes.
For example, I can talk to any stranger, any place, anywhere, anytime. I can just walk up to somebody and start a conversation with them.
Yeah.
My intuition is pretty honed. So I always have kind of a sense about people. Even working remotely with someone, I pick up things. Maybe I'm hyper visual clue person, or, I can pick up, micro expressions. I'm not sure what it is, but my intuition feels honed. And I know, is this person legit? Are they a BSer? Are they on a crutch? Are they an excuse maker? Are they a great talker and not a great doer? Like, I can pick up pretty fast.
And those are invaluable skills. Those are
gosh.
Yeah.
I use all the time. Yeah. And so these myths that we debunk, I think, help people kind of analyze or reanalyze their lives by saying, is it too late for me to get started in a new career?
This reminds me. Yeah, this reminds me of something I have for many, many moons told my martial arts students. Because somebody, I remember this came up because someone lost their belt, their karate belt, right? They lost their belt on a trip. And you know what I told them? I said, it's not the belt does not hold the knowledge, and no one can ever take the knowledge from you that you have gained, right? And the certificate on the wall doesn't hold the knowledge. The belt doesn't hold the knowledge, right? It's the knowledge is always with you no matter what happens.
That's right. It's in you.
Yeah.
So I love this topic. We actually have a free ebook on our website. That's great. Anyone who's changing their career, go to superpurposes.com. Yeah. Go to superpurposes. Yeah. Or maybe you're thinking, well, what are the myths? Go find out. Go sign up for our free ebook.
There you go.
You will find out. And it is chock full of how to. So after we debunk the myth, we go right into, so here's how you solve that problem.
Yeah. Which is amazing. That's awesome.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah. So, there's also a lot of folks that are in a job that would like to be able to do things that increase their salary potential. What are some tips you can give folks about that?
I love this question so much. I think the first thing is, and we were actually talking about this earlier to our team. We were talking about the skills that matter the most in a work environment. We basically have broken it down to 4 skills.
Okay.
So the number one skill is problem solving.
Yes.
So I'm just I'll tell you what all 4 of them are, but I'm going to go into more about problem solving. So problem solving, communication, delegation, and coaching. Those are 4 of the key skills. So if you want to make more money, become excellent at those 4 skills. So I'm going to just take one skill because that's all the time we have. Yeah. Problem solving. How often does somebody come to you and all they do is present the problem? They're like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. We all know those people.
Yes.
Sometimes we're those people, actually.
And sometimes they do that before they've even tried to work through it themselves.
100%. But I call them the Debbie Downers or the complainers. I also call them the troublemakers. They're like, we have a problem. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
What's the solution?
They're the town crier. There's a problem.
Yeah,
There's a problem.
Exactly. The second step is to always offer your solution right away. So you can say, we have this problem, but here's what I think we should do. So here's the solution. I think we should do this.
Yeah.
Here's my idea. And the third step is to ask for feedback. What do you think of that idea? Do you like that idea or do you have a different one?
Right.
Now, what you've just done to the person, if it's your supervisor, CEO, whoever it is, vice president of the company, maybe it's a coworker, what you've just done for them is you've taken out all of the thinking that you would have given them if you only gave them the problem. Because now you're saying, well, here's what I thought of.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, they're going to be saying, that's a great idea. Let's do that.
Right.
They're going to love your idea, which builds your confidence, which then brings you into the next realm of people looking at you, because now they're not thinking, here comes Mac, the complainer.
Right.
They'll be like, here comes Mac, the problem solver.
Right.
You will get invited into all the meetings. You will be asked to lead task force and brainstorming sessions. And the problem solving skill in those 3 steps, problem, solution, and feedback.
Right.
If you do those, you'll start doing them throughout your life. Your life will begin to change.
I love that. And if I was a supervisor of someone, because you and I have both managed a lot of people in our careers, in our lives.
Yep.
And someone came to me and said, here's the problem. And they didn't have, and here's my idea. I would ask them, how are you going to be a part of the solution?
Yes. And that was the 4th thing. Yes. Coaching. You're already on to coaching.
Right.
Which is amazing. Yeah. So you're coaching the person by asking them the question, you're teaching them. And similarly, if I think about it, that's the great question to ask when somebody brings you the problem. Okay, well, what should we do?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. What should we do? You're right. That is a problem. What should we do?
Right. Exactly.
Don't make the person you're telling the problem to do the work.
That's right.
You do the work.
That's right.
So,
well, Super Julie, thank you so much for all that you do. And folks, go to superpurposes.com, download the free ebook about debunking the 6 myths about career change, and just look around and learn some things that can help you either get into a career that you're passionate about or get a better salary and negotiate for the things that you want. She has great tools on there. Thank you, SJ. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Keep making a difference. All right, everybody. Stay tuned for Seniors Matter.